This is Alex Honnold. He's one of the best climbers in the world, known for his death-defying climbs without a rope, his feature in the Oscar-winning documentary Free Solo, and his unbelievable ability to just climb an insane amount of rock. Over the next week, I'm going to be training just like Alex Honnold. That means I'm going to be climbing a lot. I'm going to be hangboarding, strength training, following his diet, and I'm also going to Free Solo. I want to find out how much I can improve at climbing by following one of the world's best. And a disclaimer, this training plan was built off of interviews that Alex Honnold has done. It's just my interpretation of what his week might look like. Day 1, the scary moonboard. Used exclusively by really strong climbers and the local team kids that flashed my project, the moonboard will be the tool I use to see how much I've improved in a week of training. It's also the tool Alex Honnold trains on once per week.
This thing is so hard.
The moonboard was designed by Ben Moon for training purposes. It's designed to be hard so climbers can get stronger. It connects to an app, and I can choose routes on my phone and it will light up the holes that I'm supposed to use on the wall. It hangs at about 40 degrees, and the cool part is all moonboards are set the same way. So I could climb the same route here and everywhere else in the world.
This thing's hard. It's like, if you don't have good technique, you're not gonna climb like at all on this thing. You know, the holds are so much consistently worse than like every other thing that I climb, so I can see how training on this would make you a lot stronger. I've only tried the moonboard a handful of times, maybe 5 total in my whole climbing career, and I don't think I've ever tried anything harder than a V4. Don't know how hard I can do today, and we'll see how high that scale goes.
During my session, I sent 3 out of the 5 V4s I worked on. I sent one V5, and the other V5 I turned into a little project. The start was really hard, and it involved this undercling pinch thing that I had to use to lunge for the other handhold. I was just not making any progress on this thing, and I could barely do the start. Maybe with all the training I was doing this week, I would be able to send this thing later. I'll come back to these routes later on and see how much I've improved. Today I'm going to be doing the style of climbing Alex Honnold is most known for. That's right, Mom. Today I'm climbing without a rope. I'm just bouldering. There's no ropes with bouldering, so that's what I'm going to be doing today. I'm going to climb some easy things and then progress into some harder things. Hopefully it's not too sandbagged like Eldo is known for. Very stiff V0. Alex Honnold says he climbs outside 3 to 4 times per week. I may not be climbing as tall of routes as him, but I'm still getting out climbing on real stone. The destination for today is Eldorado Canyon State Park, just outside of Boulder, Colorado. I warmed up on this V0 before moving over to another V0, but after reading the description on Mountain Project, I was terrified. Using the arete, climbed the southeast slab with decent feet and nothing for hands. Very stiff V0. Very stiff for a V0? What? Why not just call it a V1? How is a V0 stiff? Curious for how this could play out, I got on the rock and attempted the route. And I understand now. The route has decent feet and hands to start, but after that, it just thins out. Look at these handholds. You tell me if you can spot them, because I can't. All drama aside, after I got the moves down, the route was actually pretty fun. As I was already getting humbled by these V0s, I decided to test my luck with this V3. And spoiler alert, it was really, really hard.
So this next route is really aggressive on the fingers, and I don't want to blame it because I was moonboarding yesterday, but feeling like I might have to dig deep for this one or it's not going to happen at all.
The feet are greasy, making it hard to make any progress going upwards, and I punted around on it for a number of tries before deciding to call it a day. Day 3, strength training.
It's no secret that to be as strong as Alex Honnold is climbing, he has to invest a fair amount of time working out off the rock as he does on the rock. Which is why today I've devised a climbing specific workout without having to touch rock at all.
Alex Honnold continues his training even when he's not outside rock climbing. He said he works on climbing specific movements like pull-ups and core. He also mentioned he works on the holy grail of calisthenics for climbers, the one-arm pull-up and the front lever. Doing these exercises made me realize how tired my shoulders are after 2 hard days of climbing.
Now that I've warmed up for the front lever, let's see how it goes and if I can look really cool.
because that's what this is all about. First, I tried the front levers, and I can't believe how easy people make this look. No. I ended up doing modifications to make this easier, such as raising my knees to the bar and trying it with one foot extended. It's gonna take a lot of practice. Then I gave one-arm pull-ups an earnest effort. It's not even close. And by effort, I wasn't able to even flex my arm in the slightest. Once again, I have no idea how people build the strength to do something like this. The one-arm pull-ups devolved into just doing a bunch of pull-ups, and of course, I had to end with Honnold core.
Thing that I'm quite familiar with. Tell us about Honnold core.
Dude, I don't think we need to go into it.
No, seriously, tell them about Honnold core. They want to know.
I don't think anyone wants to know because
anyways,
nobody's even heard of it if they're not a friend of mine.
What is Honnold core? Alex created an ab routine 10 years ago that probably not too many people know about. He talked about it when he was on his Sufferfest adventures with Cedar Wright, and it's a quick hit, 12-minute ab routine. You do 2 minutes of planks followed by 1 minute of sit-ups, 30 seconds of push-ups, and 30 seconds of crunches. Then you repeat this 3 times, totaling 12 minutes. It's super hard, and it makes your abs just absolutely on fire.
Yeah, but I feel like my heart rate's high. It's just that the watch.
Oh, you think the watch itself is dropping?
Just
Oh,
thinking.
interesting. Okay, as you can tell, for day 4, we're not out climbing rocks. And that's because today I'm devoting it to cardio.
As if free soloing big walls wasn't enough, Alex manages to do an insane amount of cardio adventures when he's not halfway up some granite face in Yosemite. Just this past summer, Alex and Tommy Caldwell biked from Colorado to Canada in a 2,300-mile cycling trip with some climbing thrown in there. In the year prior, Alex did what he calls the Hurt, or Honnold's Ultimate Red Rocks Traverse, which involved a lot of vertical climbing, 23,000 feet to be precise, but also 35 miles of human-powered travel. And I'm sure I'm only scratching the surface here, but he also completed a 50K ultramarathon in 2022, because why not?
Glad to be running because it gives me a chance to take a rest on my fingers and hands, because it's funny, like jumping up and down on all these downhills and uphills, I feel my shoulders so much, they're like super sore. I'm definitely gonna be sore tomorrow with my legs. And yeah, this sort of like cardio and climbing, it's a pretty impressive mix of just like full body workout.
The run I went on today totaled slightly over 8 miles with 1,100 feet of vertical gain. Needless to say, I was pooped afterward. So while I'm spending every waking minute climbing and training my body, the other thing that I'm doing while I'm not doing that is following Alex Honnold's diet, which means this week I'm going vegetarian. Now, I don't know what he makes on a daily basis, and I'm just gonna cook vegetarian for the week. So for tonight, we're making a little veggie stir fry with some fried eggs on top, some rice on the side. Should be pretty good. Alex Honnold eats a vegetarian diet, and when he was leading up to soloing El Cap, he was almost vegan, except for eggs. And you better believe I'm gonna slap an egg on this meal. In prep for his climb, he said his mostly vegan diet caused him to feel leaner and healthier. Honnold eats this way because he is dedicated to lowering his impact on the environment. Frankly, I don't think this part of the week will be that challenging, but I am concerned I may not be able to recover the amount of calories that I'm burning every single day. But hey, Alex Honnold does. So the meal is complete. I'm pretty excited with this one. In true Alex Honnold fashion, we're all eating with big wooden spoons and spatulas. Because it wouldn't be an Alex Honnold video if we didn't do this. Cheers, lads.
Cheers.
Ooh, the sauce.
Bravissimo.
The sauce is good. It's good. Okay, you can eat now, Brian. My body is, yeah, I'm feeling it now. I wake up and there's a new part of me that's sore. Abs, very tired. Shoulders, very tired. Fingers are feeling like they're ready to climb again, which is good because today I'm going climbing.
Brian has never done this before, but
Never.
we've climbed a lot outside together. How are you feeling about the route?
I'm feeling a little spooky. I like it looks rad. I'm excited. I have a terrible head game, as you know. I get very, very afraid of heights. And so, yeah, I think I just need to be confident. Like you said, take it seriously. I'm excited.
Yeah,
I'm
it should be fun.
I'm a little scared.
It should be fun. A little scary, a little fun.
No week spent training like Alex Honnold would be complete without doing what he is most known for, free soloing. The route Brian and I are questing up today is Freeway on the second Flatiron in Boulder, Colorado. It's rated 5-0, and people most commonly do it without a rope. It's almost all slab climbing, and it leads up to the mental crux near the top of the route with the infamous move, the diving board. I've done this route once before, and it's Brian's first time on the wall. We're both strong climbers, but free soloing is no joke. My main piece of advice to Brian before starting this thing was to take it seriously, because people get hurt on this route every year. And it goes without saying, but don't try something like this at home unless you know what you're doing. Alex has free soloed some of the most impressive walls in the world, and his ability to climb 5'11", even 5'12" without a rope is an area of climbing that has made him one of the most impressive climbers of history. His ability to manage fear is one of his most impressive attributes, and he's even undergone brain scans to see if his brain is different than everyone else's.
I feel like we're probably about halfway, and I'm feeling way more comfortable. I do think the crux is probably pretty low on the route. Brian, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling great.
A little better than the start?
Much better than the start. It's like the steeper it got, the better it felt, because the hold through is better, and we weren't making like slightly tenuous slab moves.
Today's outing, while not a physically challenging climb, will certainly hone our mental abilities with rock climbing. After we climbed above the first 100 feet, the route turned casual and, dare I say, fun.
There you are.
Gotta make sure to have fun. Keep it light.
When you're inches away from death.
Okay.
The most tenuous slab moves were at the beginning, and the climbing got more comfortable the higher we got. But there was still one crux left of the climb, the diving board.
It's like a committing jump.
Oh! Oh my gosh. I feel like we were like, oh, diving board won't be so
Yeah, right?
But it's a little heavier than you expect.
I don't plan on implementing free soloing into my climbing in the future, but it is a good experience to trust my feet and practice climbing where falling is unacceptable.
I have some idea for max hangs, and like at the gym I'll add weights to the bottom, and they have like the stuff there, but I'm gonna try doing it with logs.
What?
Because we have really heavy logs. We'll see if it works.
After I did the Flatiron, I went back to the house to round out the day with a hangboarding session. Alex Honnold has long incorporated hangboarding into his routine, having hung one in his van when he was living the full-time van life. I've been doing max hangs with supplemental weight lately, something I started doing after watching some Lattice climbing videos. And I trust Lattice because Alex also worked with Lattice for coaching on how to climb harder grades. Alright, so what I've devised is a little girth hitch in the middle, attached to a carabiner, that'll then attach onto my harness. And honestly, I'm pretty stoked. So I was trying weighted hangs at home with a backpack, and that kind of sucked. But I have my freedom of movement. Like, this actually works. It looks ridiculous.
It looks ridiculous.
What you're seeing here may look insane, but trust me when I say this, it actually worked pretty well. I'd even recommend it if you don't have weights at home, but you do have logs, which surely is most of us, right? Day 6, climbing outside. Again.
Yeah, I feel like at this point I'm just humbled at what it takes to train like these elite athletes, because you're doing exercises when you're sore. You're doing things that you don't want to be doing, like hangboarding or moonboarding. And if you do it week over week, yeah, I can see some serious gains. Like if your body can keep up with just the demand of something like this. So needless to say, I am ready to take a rest after this week.
Because Alex Honnold climbs outside 3 to 4 times per week, I'm back outside bouldering today. I went to my local bouldering area with Brian and Kelsey, and the goal for the day was to have fun and not get injured. Because I don't usually climb this much in a week, I was a little hesitant about trying hard boulders while my fingers were this tired. But next thing you know, I was pushing myself on a boulder that has been on my to-do list for years. Brashear's Crack 2 is a 4-star V3 highball. It goes directly up the face of this perfect cube. You climb a tips-thin finger crack with impossibly small nubs for feet. And if the climbing wasn't hard enough, this thing is about 20 feet tall, so I don't even want to think about what would happen if I fell off the top of this thing. Hopefully, my mental training with yesterday's Flatiron solo would help me. But on the flip side, I also hoped my max hangboarding session yesterday wouldn't tire me out right before the top of the boulder.
Good job, dude.
Oh my gosh!
I'm not doing that.
That is so scary. Oh my gosh, I started getting like, my voice, like, my breathing was trembling.
You might not want the audio from that from me.
Oh, you were breathing?
I was like, oh my God.
Day 7 is going to be devoted to recovery, stretching, and just rest. The last 6 days have been some of the most intense climbing training that I have ever done, and I'm shocked that my fingers even held up for the whole 6 days. Alex Honnold has mentioned that he does a lot of stretching in his training, and when he was training for soloing El Cap, he developed a 20-minute stretching routine that he would do every single night. But of course, after my week was complete, there was one thing left to do. And now it's time for the final test. After resting for 3 full days, I was ready to get back on the moonboard and see how much I've improved.
Okay, I'm back where it started. Time to see if this training has paid off.
My plan was simple. I would climb the same boulders that I did at the start of the video, and if I could finally send some of these problems that thwarted me in my first go, maybe my training paid off. I started on the easier V4s and was happy when I sent most of them, but then I made it to this route called Bitter that I struggled on during my session last week. I was flailing around on this thing, barely making any progress. And worse yet, my fingers were just not feeling up to the task. At this point, I kind of resigned myself to be satisfied with not seeing massive improvements on the moonboard. It's only 1 week of training after all, and it's not that realistic to see finger strength results when pros spend years of their lives to make really small improvements. So I didn't see any progress with Bitter, but just to finish out the video, I decided to get back on that V5 that I couldn't make any progress on last week. I mean, I couldn't even do the start move. But when I tried this time, I couldn't believe what happened. I tried the boulder, and the first move didn't feel impossible. That was a good start. I kept trying at it, and I even watched back my footage so I could really nail the feet beta at the start of the climb. And then, by some miracle, the amazing happened.
That was so desperate. I can't believe I got that. Oh my gosh.
So that was my week of training like Alex Honnold. If you enjoyed it, consider hitting that subscribe button, and thank you so much for watching.